The Mercedes GLE Coupe is fast becoming one of the most wildly accepted SUVs globally, but this particular GLE53 AMG has its own perks, and in today's video we're going to determine if this is really that great. It is the perfect blend of an SUV and a coupe, and this being the second generation release for the GLE Coupe was released in the year 2021. This SUV you see here replaces the previous generation's GLE43, the only difference being this one gets a hybrid pack and one less turbocharger. So what do we get? Of course, right here you have your adaptive multi-beam LED headlamps, you have 6 parking sensors in the front, the beautiful pinstriped AMG grille, your Mercedes emblem with the pre-collision system embedded inside, you have a front camera for making your parking a lot easier, and then you have this beautiful bliss that is just the GLE Coupe for this generation. At the side, of course, you have these vents right here that take all the air in, you have your 22-inch rims, in these tires, ventilated brake discs that are basically the size of your regular daily driver's rim, which is, we'll talk about that later, right? Then you have your AMG brake calipers, 4 pistons in the front, 2s in the rear. You have the ground clearance of a typical sedan, which is pretty good because you know the aerodynamics on this car, which you can see right here, are beautiful. Of course, you have your keyless entry, you have your logo projector on the side mirror, side indicators, and you have your camera right there, and everything you see on this side is bonkers. And right behind here we have a very sexy behind. I mean, take a look at the curves on this thing, these hips. This is African type women shit right here. The person who designed this car likes African women. I'm sorry, but that's just what I think. Anyway, you have your beautiful booty right here. LED taillights are standard. You have your AMG emblem, quad exhaust tips, which are usually not really quad exhaust tips, and you have, they're actually fake too, fake events on the side. But anyway, when it comes to this, you get an amazing lot of space. The trunk capacity on this coupe SUV is amazing. This is a whole lot for someone like me who likes trunks. One very important thing to note about this particular engine is that it doesn't use serpentine belt. Yes, the serpentine belts we always find in our engines, especially we that drive combustion cars. This is absent here because what you have here is an electric roller, like an electric supercharger, which the hybrid system on this car powers. So that brings me to what powers this car. We have here a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder, not a V6 anymore. So we have that straight 6 that is mated to a 9-speed automatic dual clutch transmission, which puts out about 429 horsepower, 520 newton meters of torque, and this car sprints from 0 to 100 in about 5.2 seconds thereabout. Now when it comes to the fuel economy on this car, you get an average of 23 miles per gallon when you're driving like a sane person, but the moment you take this car into Sport Plus and pedal into the metal, fuel economy goes out the window. The GLE Coupe prioritizes luxury and comfort with a hint of sportiness. I have a reason for saying that, and we're going to get right to it later. But anyway, right here, of course, because this is an AMG, you get your AMG sport seats with beautiful side bolsters. These seats are heated, optionally ventilated, but this particular unit has that option. So this is ventilated, so you have your AMG badging right here, and you have your power controlled seats with 4-way lumbar control. Pretty great, right? Here we have a very beautiful view because we have this entire midsection, like 3/4 of the entire dash length, with 2 screens, 2 12-inch screens. So here we have your infotainment system, and here we have the digital gauge cluster. This infotainment system, of course, uses the latest MBUX interface, and it's loaded with a lot of stuff. You also have the dynamic package, which is offered on the GLE Coupe as an optional extra in this particular unit. And so for your comfort features, you have massage seats as well as the heated and ventilated seats I mentioned earlier. On this side, you have your climate zone controls like I mentioned, you have your wireless charging ports, 2 USB-C ports, one of course which is used to connect your phone to the screen. as you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get navigation as standard, which is really cool. On this side, of course, you have your touchpad, which you can use to control the screen, which is also a touch screen. Then on this side of the touchpad, you have your camera controls, your park assist, and on this side, you have your radio, your navi, and all whatnot. You have your air suspension control, then you have your suspension dampening control. So this, the adaptive suspension you have on this car, which is an air suspension, comes with 3 settings. So you have comfort, sport, and sport plus. Then you get a lot of storage in this car, which is pretty surprising because you'd expect like a whole lot of compromise, being that this is the coupe version. But you get quite a fair amount of space, like here, with an additional USB-C port. Here you have the AMG-ness of this car, which is pretty exciting. So yes, you have a fully digital gauge cluster, just as in cars of these days. Then of course you have your beautiful AMG steering wheel, which is D-shaped. It has a flat bottom and it has all the controls, which are here basically. So all the manual settings, drive mode settings, suspension settings, you get all of that right here, which is pretty cool. Then you have your audio controls and your driver assistance controls, which is standard. All those features we always talk about, the lane keep assist, adaptive, automatic emergency braking, and all of that stuff. Everything is right here. You also get a beautiful hands-free panel roof, which is amazing. Ambient lighting too, as well as a whole lot of stuff. But let's go talk about the rest of them at the back. Getting in to this SUV is just amazing. So yes, you have the aerodynamics of the beautiful body styling, which includes the sloping roofline, but I get enough headroom right here, which is pretty cool. I also get just about enough legroom for myself, which is pretty amazing too. Very, very comfortable heated rear seats, which comes with the dynamic package, which this SUV has. I'm super excited for it. Then you have your second set of dual zone climate controls, meaning we have 4 in this car right here at the back. You also get your USB-C port, some storage right here. Now while driving, being in front, it is seamless. But being at the back is a bit, you get to be all over the place, especially if you're driving the one with the base suspension system. But fortunately, in this particular unit, because of the dynamic package, we have the optional AMG active ride control. So basically what that does is, it's like a retuned suspension system that keeps you in place and keeps all of that body roll out of it. So instead of having the base suspension system, which is a bit harsh in the rear but seamless in front, you have something that is also just as seamless at the back. But you still get some of that sportiness, especially because we have 4MATIC Plus being the drivetrain, which means that this car basically can throw all the power to the rear wheels, and you're sitting in the rear, so you're going to get all of it. So as we all know, nothing in life is perfect, and in as much as I've told you all the beautiful things that this car has, I mean, soft closed doors, beautiful features, additional optional extras on this particular unit, there are still some things that don't quite sit well with me, and those include the first being, if you get the standard version of this car without the optional extra. So it comes with dual zone climate control and just heated seats. So I'm yet to understand why they build these cars knowing that they have quite the audience in some continents and they are willing to make my butt hot, but tentative about making it cold too. Look at the sun. What do I need a heated seat for? I need something to cool my bum. So another point being that the earlier released models of this generation did have a number of recalls, 8 to be precise. Although most of them were software related, you don't get anyone with the hardware, that's the mechanical faults, no, but it's worth noting that that happened. You also do get a very funny transmission response, right? So you are trying to downshift amongst the lower gears, say from gear 3 to 2 or 2 to 1, and this thing aggressively launches you forward. It's not fun, and it's pretty aggressive. And if you just got this car, you're doing it, your first experience is not going to be quite pleasing to you. Although there's a way to fix it. If you can just do a TCM reset, that should take it all away. You get all of this sexiness, this beautiful rear spoiler, and all of this, but you do not get the best throttle response. So you kick down, it takes a bit of time to respond to you. And you begin to wonder, Is it the hybrid system? No, it has nothing to do with the drivability. Is it the turbo spool? I mean, you can hear it spooling, but it's just not giving you response. It's not a true sports car. It doesn't have that raw AMG feel that we all love AMG to have, but it still is a beautiful and amazing car. It prioritizes comfort and luxury and safety over the actual performance. It doesn't mean it's not going to give it to you. Yes, you get a bit of that, but not in that raw form that you love the AMG to have. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my friends here at Golden Sieve Motors for lending us this beauty to review. If you have an interesting car or you have a car and you want us to review it, please do well to send us an email. I'll be leaving that in the description box below. Anyway, guys, we've come to that segment or that part. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like what you've just seen, please do well to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this video to all and sundry. And I'll be seeing you in the next one.